we'll get started. So we can go to the next slide and we'll introduce ourselves a little bit. But yeah, so it's to elevate your roofing and remodeling business. So if you guys you meant to be in this webinar, then you're in the right place. So my name is Jenny. I am at Renoworks. I've actually been working here for over 7 years, working directly with contractors and our manufacturer clients. So I see the whole picture of the building industry. And then before that, I actually worked as a College Pro painters franchise owner. So I don't know if there's any painters out there, but I was one of your competitors back in the day. We had our little lawn signs, and that was what I did a lot of my marketing. But I did a lot of in-home estimates with homeowners and sat in your shoes with way less technology back then. I'm not super old, but technology has changed fast, and I was just using carbon copy papers. And then I've also been in sales and marketing for over 12 years, so that's really something that I really enjoy, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about, is really how do you get more leads using our part of the software. And then Chadwick is an expert on CostCertified, so I'll let him introduce himself.
Thanks, Jenny. Yeah, I'm Chadwick. I basically grew up in the renovation and building business. My parents had a renovation company and electrical company, so I kind of been in it all my life. I've used CostCertified for 2 years before I came on as a demonstrator, so I know the software inside and out. This software absolutely changed my life. I'll show you that when we get further into the demo. I have, a lot of experience in roofing. I've done a little bit of it on my projects and done it myself and hired it out, so I know a lot about it. But I worked for a home builder that we did 500 houses a year, and we had a lot of leaky roofs. So I've been on a lot of roofs. I fixed them. I understand the complexities of the whole thing. So yeah, I think I'll be a great guy to show you the software. And again, I've had massive success with this software, and it's kind of what got me to this job here today. So it's a little bit about me.
Awesome. So we can get into it. We'll show you the agenda. So we're going to do an intro, Renoworks and CostCertified, the companies. I'll go into the Renoworks solutions. Then Chadwick will go into the CostCertified solutions and talk about what the joint solution is, how we work together. And then we'll talk about next steps and how to get in touch with us if you guys are ready to go ahead. So let's jump into it. Next slide's about Renoworks. So Renoworks has, we were actually started by a contractor 20 years ago who back then he found that he was facing that timeless question of what's it going to look like? How do I pick colors? I'm stuck. And so he created our program, and we've evolved over that time. Started as a CD-ROM, you stuck in the computer, and now it's all online. So things have changed. But we're still solving that same basic problem, and just having the right tool can help a lot. We do work with over 250 manufacturers, and so in that realm, we've got all the major product libraries. If you're showing colors and products you sell, it's the actual ones that the manufacturer offers. And we help millions of homeowners through our software make design decisions faster and easier. So definitely help you with your specific homeowners. And in general, Renoworks is very data-driven, and so we've set up analytics to monitor performance and lead types. We're collecting multiple data points on all homeowners, and so that's really important to us to be able to make a good product and capture what we can to help you with your sales. So that's about Renoworks, and then Chadwick will talk about CostCertified.
All right, CostCertified. So we were also started by a contractor. Mike started this company by accident, almost. He was a painting contractor going to business school, And started a part of the business school was to have a painting company and try and make that company a go. And he was actually very, very successful with his painting company. He built it up to 35 employees, had 5 project managers, and this was a young man. This was a 25-year-old, maybe 26 or 27 at the time, but a young man that had found himself trying to figure out how to deal with all this information, selling. And he knew a little bit about coding, and he actually built this software just for himself. And it was his marketing guy that came to him and saw it and said, "You got to share this with everybody. This is amazing." So I'll talk a little bit more about that, obviously when we get into the software, what it does and why it's amazing. But we are also innovators in this industry. Like, if you think about it, quoting has been done the same way since paper has existed. Up to about the 90s when the computer came into play, you would put it into a PDF. And still today, to that point, it's essentially been the same way until we came along and kind of changed the game here. So I think you're going to really like what we've done. And the statement there is Amazon meets construction. Our investors that invested $8.5 million our first year, $4.5 million last year into this company that was one person. Myself was the first employee 2.5 years ago. Now we are 130. Those investors said, this is like Amazon meets construction. This is revolutionary. So I'll obviously show you that when we get into the demo. Contractors love us. Contractors, when they come to us, they are usually not charging enough. They usually are spending way too much time on their estimates, and they're usually not making enough profit. Everybody that comes to us cannot live without us. And one thing that we have a really tough time with our software is that it's hard for us to get a referral from a contractor that uses our software because they do not want to share it with anybody. And it's actually the same thing that happened to me when I found CostCertified. It was one of the first users of CostCertified, and I was in the landscaping business. He was in the basement business. I was actually doing a quote for him, and he was very proud to show me the software. And when I told him that our landscaping company was also getting into renovations, he immediately pulled back and told me it was his own proprietary software and did not want to share it with me. It took about 3 more tries to actually, find out about the software and get on it. So the last thing I'll say is homeowners love us too. Not only contractors, but homeowners, because as the slide suggests, homeowners don't trust you just as much as you don't trust them. It's equal if you think about it. This makes our software makes the relationship so much better. You're going to love your customers again, believe me. I'll show you more once we get into the actual software, but you'll see why this struggle of homeowner against the contractor, usually the first meetings are great, but by the end, it gets a little bit hairy, but this will make things so much smoother, I can assure you. Jenny, I'll hand it over to you for the next slide.
Okay, so we're actually going to pop up a poll question. Got that, so you guys should see it show up there. What keeps you up at night? So is it getting more leads, booking more jobs, creating quotes more efficiently, upselling, and doing change orders on quotes, quoting accurately with material takeoffs, teaching people how to sell your products, and new sales guys quote properly, any of those kinds of things. You should see the poll question up in the top there, and if you can just pick one of those options. Does anyone see that poll question?
I'm not seeing the poll question, Jenny, but I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be able to see the poll question. I was just trying to think of what keeps me up at night.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can just answer it in the chat.
Probably the same stuff. I know what used to keep me up at night. Um, I would get a quote done, and I would wonder, and I would dread. I would get the quote out, and then the customer would. The next day, they're going to send me all these changes, and then I had more work to do, and I haven't even been paid for a job yet. I'm just doing an estimate. That used to keep me up at night. Did I have enough
Yeah.
sales to keep the company running? That always kept me up at night. Whether I had my own business or worked for somebody.
Looks like most people, about 50%, are it's quote accuracy and material takeoffs, followed by
Ooh.
booking more jobs. So we'll definitely get into that for sure. Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for voting. We've got 16 votes. I think we'll leave it at that. So
What was the top one, Jenny? What was the top one?
quote accuracy and material takeoffs.
Accuracy, material takeoffs, and what was the last one?
Upselling and change orders on quote.
Ah, yes.
But those are maybe the same type of answer.
Sure.
Well, we'll hurry it up here a little bit. I think
Okay.
we've got a lot to cover. So, what we see, exactly what you guys have also identified, repricing quotes quickly and accurately. It's time consuming, helping homeowners pick products and colors, be painstaking and delay everything if they're stuck on making that decision. And then missing lead opportunities. This is just like getting more jobs. You've got people coming to your website, but you're not keeping them, then you're missing out on a huge segment of the population. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that next. So we can go on to the next slide, and I'll get into Renoworks. Oh, actually, first we're going to talk about what people are reading online. So when you go to look up anything, if you put yourself in the shoes of a homeowner and you're thinking, okay, I know I need to do renos. Now, how do I find a contractor? And you look up how to pick the right type of home remodeler. There's so many things that pop up that tell you what to watch out for. So this one is one of those things, the warning signs you're a bad contractor. It's what homeowners are reading online. So these are the kinds of things that they're seeing as people are, if you're doing significantly lower quotes on the competition, you don't have any written agreements. The contractors, they're doing high pressure sales tactics.
I've never done that. I've never done that.
Yeah, there you go. No breakdown of the cost. They're writing it on a napkin. These are all the things that homeowners, they're right away, they're like, nope, I should not be picking that remodeler. So then we got another poll question. Just curious, are you at risk of being considered a bad contractor? We've got 3 answers. Guilty as charged. You look just like this guy up on the screen. You're just saying, don't worry about it. We got you covered. Or you could improve in some of those areas. That's why you're actually here in the webinar. Or maybe none of those apply to you and you're just an all-star. But you're here because you still want to keep getting better. So yeah, if you see that poll, it should be up there. Just put in your answer. Yep, perfect. We've got a lot of people that are saying that they want to improve in those areas, and that's why they're here. Awesome. So I'll get into the Renoworks solution. So some of the main things that the visualizer allows you to do is to help you close more deals, because you're able to get those people sitting on the fence. If you ever worked with a homeowner who is super indecisive, maybe the husband and the wife don't know how to talk to each other and they're just getting frustrated, this is just a tool to help you solve that gap, help them visualize colors and products and make decisions easily and comfortably. Helps to eliminate that indecision, so they're not changing their mind halfway through after you've made that quote. They've started off feeling pretty confident that this is how they want it to look. And then you can also upsell on design in a very low pressure sales way. So you're just getting them excited that it's going to, how it's going to look, but then maybe you throw in an extra stone wall and you say, hey, doesn't this look pretty cool? Or this is an option. What do you think? And I know we all know stone is very expensive, but once they see it, it might get them excited and they're willing to pull out their wallet and go ahead with that. So those are kind of the main things, ways you can use the visualizer in your sales. And then I'm also going to, I'll do a demo of the visualizer so you guys can have a good idea of what that means. But I'll just we'll go into the next slide here and talk about on your website how you can also use it. So having it in the sales process, just mentioned, use it in that way. Also put it on your website. It's a great way to capture those people, like I said before. This is a typical funnel of all the people out there. 50% of people don't know yet that they actually need to do renos on their home, but maybe they've encountered your brand in some way or another. They heard about you on the radio or their friend shared something. They've just maybe they went to your website because they saw something about you, but they don't know yet that they actually should contact you for a quote. Then 30% of people out there know that they do need renos. They've read something, they notice their siding is starting to get worn out or the roof is leaking or whatever it is. They know they need to do renos, but they're still in that decision-making process. So they're still getting information, just kind of learning about it. Then they go down the funnel. The 17% are actually at that stage where now they're ready to pick a contractor. So they know that they need work done. They know kind of in general, whatever Google research they've come up with. But now they're deciding who should do this for me. So they're avoiding that guy that the internet told them to avoid, but they're looking for other guys. They're going to your website they're judging you based on your website. That's what they see first. So they get to your website, but they might still not be ready to go ahead. Only 3% are actually ready to book an estimate. And so maybe they narrowed down who they're picking for contractors that they want to do an estimate. They're comparing you with 3 other guys. And so you're still fighting for those 3% of guys that are ready to do it with the other 2 contractors they called. So it's really important that you have gotten credibility. They've seen you maybe 7 times. They just like you for whatever reason because they've heard of you so many times. You've given them valuable content. They learned a lot from your website. They're already feeling good vibes towards you. And so the visualizer is a good thing to put on your website to help them in those decision-making process, or that phase where they're still deciding if they want to even call you. It's something that can help you just capture those people and keep them around. So 2 ways that the visualizer helps with your website is so that you don't lose out on those people that weren't ready to book an estimate just yet. So we found you can capture up to 20% more leads by putting a visualizer on your website. It also gives you an added bonus of increasing your SEO. So if you've heard of the term SEO before, basically just means that your visualizer can be found on page 1 of Google. So if you ever Google something and you say, I'm looking for a siding contractor near me, and most people don't go past page 1. So that's an important thing, is to get up to page 1. So having SEO is a big thing. Our visualizer helps to improve the SEO. It's called, because of we've got a powerful backlink by connecting to Renoworks because we've been around for so long. We've worked with all the big manufacturers. That transfers to you with credibility for Google and basically just gives you a bump. It's hard to measure by how much, but it's a bonus. And then we also have heard this countless times that consumers are 5 times more likely to book an in-home consultation with you if they visited the visualizer first. So they've already worked themselves through that process of wanting to call you. Other ways that you can use visualization is email marketing. So if you're capturing those leads and then you keep nurturing them in your pipeline. So if you've got a marketing team, they can do this for you. Social media, great tool to be able to share visuals of designs and get people excited about what they could do. This picture I put on there is an actual live example of a contractor that they put that photo, that before photo, into the visualizer. The middle photo is what the visualizer did to change the color of the siding, the roof. It added stone, all those design elements, which would have been hard to explain to a homeowner why they should spend $100,000. That's a huge remodel job on this design. but it looks really nice. And then the after photo compares really well to the rendering. So if you see just how close it can create that resemblance, that's really a good example of what the visualizer can do. And then a few other ideas are blog posts, videos, contests, all those things. If you've ever heard content is king, that's super important to get your website found, get people coming to you. Also works for new builds. So this is a good, again, a couple more examples. If you do sometimes use blueprints and you just need to quickly help somebody change out ideas for colors and products, it's way easier than having to use architect software. So once you have that PDF and now you want to change things, you can put it into the visualizer. Or even if they're partway through, they've ripped off all the existing siding, or they're in construction still and they haven't decided what they want, you can put that photo of an incomplete house into the visualizer and show them design elements still so they can make those decisions. And then last thing that it also does is measurements. And this is really where it integrates with CostCertified. And Chadwick will show you that CostCertified part of things as well. But we integrate, we get our measurements from EagleView. And EagleView, if any of you have heard of EagleView, they're a leader in the industry. And they get their measurements from aerial and oblique photography. So they're getting a really nice angled shot of the home. It's not just this straight down from top down that you would just get from GPS satellite imagery. It's actually also images from the side, so you can see a little bit more what's going on. You can see more angles of the home, of the roof, and then it also allows you to just be transparent with the homeowner. You show them, hey, we got the measurements from a very legitimate source. These are real measurements, and you just inflate the numbers to tell you that your roof is 10 times bigger than it is. You can show them, this is how I got those numbers. So I'll pass over to Chadwick. He'll go into a little, we won't spend a lot of time showing you the visualizer, just in the interest of time, because there's a lot about CostCertified we also want to show you. So Chadwick can take that part and show you kind of the high level of CostCertified, and then get into them both.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. I guess with this first slide up, we'll just talk about the safest and most efficient way to produce a roofing quote. What we're talking about here today, this whole solution, is revolutionary technology. This has not existed until we made it and put it together. This is the fastest, most accurate way that you're going to do a roofing quote. And right now we'll more concentrate on the roofing side of things. But where this is going is you will be able to also do siding and windows eventually. So we'll talk more on the roofing at this point. I'm going to share my screen here, so can you just confirm? Okay, so this visualizer, as Jenny was mentioning, is on your website. And for the exchange of their email and their phone number, the customer can use the visualizer. So pretty amazing. You know, customers love this. They love playing around. I'll just do a simple couple of moves here. Is you can click on the roof and the customer can upload their photo. You could also upload a photo as a salesperson. So when I used to design landscaping projects, I used to go to the customer's house, take a picture of their house, and I used to be able to put stuff in right on the spot with them. This is no different. You take a picture of the house, or the customer can provide you with one. And all you're doing now is for the roofing, let's say, we can go in here and simply put some new roof products on there. I can go ahead, I can change the siding. Now again, let's remember that this is, the integration is only roofing at this point, but the next phase of this is to do windows, doors, and siding. So it's baby steps. It took a long time for us to get to this point, you know, where you could actually do this. And these might not be the best colors, but it'll be a dramatic change here. Boom. I could actually also, yeah, go ahead, Jenny.
This part you still get. So Chadwick was saying about the integration with only roofing, but you'll still get all of the siding, windows, all the products that you would be selling for a full exterior remodel, you'll have access to all the library for this part of things. So if you're helping people design, pick colors, and going through. And we also just, sorry to cut you off, Chadwick. There's a whole lot in there. If you notice, there's like over 70 siding manufacturers. So we'll narrow it down. We can customize it to just the ones that you use. So if you use 3 top brands, we'll just make it so it's only your brands. And then there's garage doors, windows, trim, lots of different things you can do to help them pick, show designs in the visualizer itself. The integration, so I think we should probably just get into that, is when with the measurements, when somebody, when you're ready now, they've picked out the colors and design that they like, you order the measurements to through the visualizer itself, you order the measurements, you'll get it back, and Chadwick will show you exactly what it is, what it looks like when you get it back. But that'll be then the next step. But you order the measurements, you can then show them in the visualizer, and then you can port them directly into CostCertified.
Yeah, so the step now is, once the customer wants to get a quote, you've got the measurements from EagleView, and they are 99% accurate through the LiDAR system. So it's not a GPS, it's actually from a LiDAR from an airplane. And I'm just showing you some highlighted areas here of this roof. And the reason this is important is sometimes, depending on where you are, if you want to put solar panels on a roof, the solar panel company has to guarantee that roof for 10 years. So most roofers will get a call to say, hey, I just need a portion of this roof done. I'm only putting the solar panels on the sunny side, on the south side. So you can select the side that would go on, or you could select all. I'm not going to get into the report too much, but what I do want to show you is in the actual EagleView report. Of course, you get the pictures, the bird's eye view, and then a 45 degree, but it's going to give you all the ridges, the hips. I'm not showing. Oh, my apologies, everybody. I didn't realize that I have to move if I'm moving tabs. Can I share my screen? Can I just share my screen? No, I got to just do tabs. Okay, we're good. The EagleView report is showing you all the eave lines by the linear foot, the ridges by the linear, the square footage, all your valleys and hips. So it's all here. And then I just want to take it a little step further. Once the integration goes further and we go to phase 2, you're going to get siding measurements. You're going to get window measurements. So really cool stuff here. Once I go back to my measurements tab and I order the report, so now I'm going to select all. We're going to simply request the estimate. Now and I will share the next tab, I guess. Yep. Okay. We'll just make sure we're a human. And what this is doing is the EagleView measurements are going into the Renoworks visualizer, then getting transferred into CostCertified. And you can see we've got 3 different accounts in CostCertified. So you might be doing contracting with CostCertified, interior renovations, but you also might be doing housing or renovations, exterior renovations. So you could pick the account you're in. And essentially the next step here is we've got 4,200 square feet of roof that we're going to give a quote for. Now I'm going to choose what I want. Do I want certainteed? Now I can show all products if I want, but I want to be specific to just certainteed here. So I'm going to pick the product. I'm going to pick the customer. And we are simply going to create a quote. And now the quoting engine is taking all those measurements and crunching the numbers, and it's going to put it into a CostCertified quote. And maybe anybody in the chat there could tell me, is anybody doing anything other than roofing? Does anybody do siding and windows? Does anybody do interior renovations? I'd be curious. Okay, so the first thing that pops up here, this is all the dimensions that EagleView recorded, and we can add more or take them out. But you need your eaves, you need your ridges, you need your valleys, flashings, and total roof area. Now these are all 99% accurate. Now you could go in here and put the overages in if you want, and you could type the number in. So So if I wanted to just go with 200 square feet, or what is that, 200 lineal feet, that's fine. I can increase it by the plus or minus button. And essentially I can go right now. This is the back end of the quote. This is not what the customer sees. And I can open up the quote here. Again, this is not what the customer sees, but our cost on this roof is $14,000. Your prices are already preloaded in from the manufacturers. Your costs are already preloaded in by our team. We'll work with you to do a pricing 101 with you. We just want to know, are you charging by the square foot? How do you do your quotes? What pricing do you use? And if you don't know, we have a very good database. We actually have a paid database. We have our own database. Then we look at your pricing. And with those three prices, we will come up with a responsible cost. Then you just need to put a markup on it. And I'll just show you what's in this quote. You can change the numbers here again. So all the same numbers there. I've got my shingles. I've got my ridge caps, underlayment. These all have upgrades in them. You'll see that here in a moment. Our starter shingles. And then I've even got my labor as a separate item here. So $7,500 worth of labor, $3,000 to tear it off, $3,900 to put it on, and then hauling. And you can make new items. I just hit the plus button. Easy to make an item. And you see how these are linked together. This is how these quotes are so fast. I put in 4,200 square feet, or the Eagle View measurement, populated that measurement over, and I've updated 3 things here. I could also put nails in here. We know how many nails you need by square foot. I know you don't count it by the square foot, but you can. So we'll set up the account how you would like that set up. But when we go to the customer side, this is what they would see now. So, and actually I'm going to switch over to one. I didn't get my logo done here, so let me switch over to this guy, share this tab instead. Okay, so this is the same exact one I just showed you. I just didn't have our logo in. So this logo right here will obviously put your logo in. Now if you did multiple types of jobs or had different company divisions, you can actually put in different logos for different quotes that you're sending. This background picture can be changed by one click of a button. So if I'm just doing exteriors, or I want to highlight roofing, or I have different pictures for different types of projects, you can easily change that picture. We'll make it a full screen experience here. This is what your customer would see as a full screen. But your customer, whether you're quoting the job on the spot, you go meet with them, put the measurements by hand, or if you get the Eagle View measurement, boom, this is what you're showing them at their kitchen table or with an iPad right on their house, right on the front lawn. And they're going to be able to pick their shingles first. So we've got architectural is what they asked for, but they're like, wow, that's a lot of money. So I'm either going to upgrade to designer, and if I want to upgrade to the designer, we can get a sample. And we can put as many pictures in here as you want. And this visualizer, this picture right here is the actual visualizer from Renoworks. Now, one thing I'll tell you guys is that the visualizer does not talk to CostCertified in CostCertified. You're not going to change the picture here, but we can put sample photos in here for you, okay? And if I change the color here, you'll see that on the visualizer, I just changed the color. Now that wasn't a dramatic change, but I actually just changed the roof color there. I'll go into here to another way that you could look at the quote. Actually, I'll stay in this one here for a bit. Here's our ridges. Here's the underlayment. You've got an upgrade of to the diamond deck for $1,100. And if I want to read up about why I should use that and why that's more money, we can put as much information here as you want. We can also put videos in CostCertified. So if I make that selection, the price is going to go up now, $15,000, now $16,400. So you may have a situation where a customer has expensive taste, but you can bring them all the way down to the most cost-effective product, or they might have really expensive taste and they can upgrade. So there's your starter shingle, and I may or may not show the starter shingle. I can actually hide anything in a quote because there's just some things that don't show well. I'm going to show you one more way that you can kind of think about a CostCertified quote. Is here's a difference. There's no logo in this one. Well, obviously we'd put a logo in there. You've got your different picture, but here's a different way you could think about it, where not everybody offers all different types, but I don't know, for me, I've sold jobs for about the last 10 years. I've worked for guys, and the more stuff I can sell, the better. I mean, we're just sales organizations, right? So if I could sell all these different types, you know, I've got my asphalt all the way up to copper tile. Now, if you guys don't want to sell copper and clay and slate, I talked to a guy yesterday in San Diego, and he says, I love it. Clay, you just got to add concrete in here for me. No problem. We would tailor this to what you sell. And again, if you upgrade to the wood shake, the customer will see the price upgrade. They can see an example of that. And again, we can put as many pictures in here as you'd like. And sorry, I meant to click on that for the upgrade. That will become the principal selection now. The price just went up to $31,000. What am I changing? Oh, did it go to a different tab? My apologies, everybody. I didn't realize it did not change over. So I was just showing you a different way to look at these assemblies or line items. I had this set on shingles here, so if you want to show the different types and the different pictures, what I was getting at here is I've started at the lowest price for this roof you could possibly do. Then we'll spend a little bit more money to go to metal, $7,500 more if you want to go to wood shake. Here is a simple way to show the different types. And then you could break it down to manufacturers. I could have GAF, I could have Certainteed, I could have ICO in here for all your shingles. As many manufacturers as you want. We can make a selector tool for that. The next simplest thing to do is you've got to pick a roof vent. If you want a, $29 roof vents all the way up to a powered roof vent, it's really up to the customer. The cool thing about this software is 83% of the time customers spend more money. So that is more profit, obviously, right? Gutter guards, whether you offer it or not, and it's optional. That's the thing here is the customer, right now it's not in the quote, so they can add it in or they can take it out of the quote and it will adjust the price. Once the customer's gone through and made all their selections, and let's see, did we make a selection? Let's go to the clay here. From $11,000, they're going to spend the money. They talk to the bank. They can get the money. That's up to $37,000 now. This is what they want. We can go in here, review the terms and conditions, and they can literally see the breakdown. This one doesn't have a breakdown here. If we'll put your contract in here. I apologize. I might have a contract in another one here. Let's go to this guy. Oh, this is our new account. So you could put a one-page contract in here, 3 sentences. Sorry, I didn't switch my tab. There we go. You could put a one-line sentence in here for your contract, a 1-page, a 3-page. California's got a really complex contract that we've already got in the system. So the cool thing about this is you can literally measure a job through the Ego view, show up to the customer's house, go over all the options and the upgrades, and ask them for the sale in that first meeting. Customers are always hoping that somebody will come and just take care of this problem, be super professional. So your chances of closing the deal on the spot go up greatly by using the software. So I'm just going to show you quickly the back end of the software so you can understand that this is super simple. We will set it up for you, but if you needed to adjust a price or make a new item, it's super simple. Let's go into the shingle install here. Do I need to, I'm sharing the right screen? Yeah, okay. If I go into the install of shingles here, this is how we build an item from scratch. If you ever forget how to do it, we got a help tool here. And I set up my own account. When I had to do this, we didn't have onboarders doing it for you. So I spent a bunch of time doing it myself. You just put the item name in. Is it by the square foot, the linear foot, or squares? Is it labor and material? So if I went material as well, I could say that and this is subcontracted, so let's just get rid of that for a moment. I could say my labor cost is $5 per square foot. I could say my materials is $7. Owner's not making any money yet, so let's put a markup on it. Maybe you're 20%, 30, 40, I don't know, 1.5. I can tell you that I sold jobs at 60% markup with this software. And I couldn't, I sold out my jobs when I was landscaping. I sold out in 3 months instead of 6. I can make anything optional. If I click the optional button, now you've got, let's say you're doing a house quote, a garage quote, and a shed quote. You can separate them all so that they're optional. The customer can only afford to do the garage or the house. Or maybe it's a siding quote. Maybe it's a, and let me, while we're talking about that, and sorry, I'll just show you a few quick things here. Optional items, if you're painting houses, you can let the customer pick their colors. Okay, if you're doing exterior painting, interior painting, it doesn't matter. If you click this box here, the customer can actually type a message back to you in the quote to ask a question. You can put a description in right here, and you can add pictures in right from your computer. Super simple to do. One thing I want to show you is you might be a roofing contractor, and I asked everybody in the chat if anybody else is doing any other type of, so people said they do all stuff. Well, look at this. So CostCertified, so we've got a great solution for roofing, but look at this. Let's go here just quickly. Customers love you and trust you. That's the whole deal with contracting. As soon as you get one and you do a great job for them, they love and trust you. And you're a roofing contractor and you don't know how to quote a kitchen, no problem. We've already got the prices preloaded in here. And if you don't know your prices, we have a pricing database that is specific to your zip code. So we just put your zip code in, all the prices go in there. Now we will verify those prices with our onboarders, but look at this. All of a sudden you go from selling roofing to let's sell kitchens, right? And we have this, whoops. Oh, sorry, we got to switch the tabs here. It's not giving me an, Braden, it's not giving me the go ahead. Okay, it looks like it did. Okay, my apologies. I'm not sure if you saw how I did that, but I just added a quote in. I'll just go back here. I went to our library and I can add a bathroom. I can add in handyman work, landscaping, kitchens. I click on the kitchen, I add it in. I got 2 in here. Let's get rid of it. One of them. Let's move the kitchen to the top and boom, now we're selling kitchens. And all the same functionality of the visualizer, we have somewhat the same thing here. You could change the colors of this kitchen instantly. You could change the door style, and the prices go up or down depending on what you're doing. So a lot of customers say, oh, I want granite, I want this, I want that, and then they get the price tag of 50 or 75 or 125,000, and all of a sudden some of the cheaper options are looking good. They can upgrade their drawers, their handles, corner cabinet accessories, countertops. And countertops, this was a winner for me. Customers would always pick the quartz, couldn't afford it. I was the only one that offered laminate. So we'll build a showroom for whatever you're doing. Reach out to us. Let's do a demo, talk on the phone, whatever you guys need to make sure it's a good fit. We want it to be a win-win. So thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks, Marco.
Bye for now.
Bye.